What is up, guys? It's Swammer here, and we are back into the Ultra League. So the Ultra League started today or yesterday, not sure. Yesterday there was all of the downtime with Pokemon Go, so I didn't do any matches yesterday because of that. So we're starting into Ultra League. We're starting at about 2450 for our rating, which is a little lower than where I was in Season 1. So uh, definitely have some extra ground to make up, but still hopeful that I can do some good climbing in the Ultra League. So going to be using today a team of Escavalier, Alolan Muk, and Cresselia. Cresselia with the buff to Moonblast has definitely gotten much better, and Alolan Muk, now that Cresselia is going to be so common, Armored Mewtwo and Giratina were already really common, so there's a very good chance that he's going to have a very good matchup against at least one of their opponents. And then Escavalier is there for the Registeel coverage. So let's go ahead and get into the video. So Escavalier on the lead is only weak to Fire, so it does pretty well. It at least has a chance to win most matchups. So this first match we catch a Swampert, which I'm not really sure I like. I think I might technically win, but I'm going to swap into Cresselia on the charge move just because I don't want to start burning shields quite this early. And then they bring out their Muck, which I believe that I will be losing this matchup. Gonna let the Dark Pulse come through, and it does a fair bit of damage. And then I'm going for the Moonblasts here. This is going to be neutral, so it will deal a decent amount of damage back, and they should beat me to a Dark Pulse, but if they overfarm at all, which they do, I will be able to get to another Moonblast. So I got to an extra Moonblast here, so this is going to get them quite low. So even though Muck is a great counter to Cresselia, I was able to get them quite low, and their attack fell. So I'm able to come back in and farm this down completely with Escavalier, and have lots of loaded energy for whatever comes back in. And it's Swampert, so I'm going to go for the Drill Run. This is going to likely get a shield. And then I'm just going to go for another Drill Run, hoping to get the second shield, but if I get the damage, that's okay too. We do get the damage. They are getting off a Hydro Cannon. I'm going to go ahead and shield that. And then we'll have to see what they do. I'm going to try and commit to the farm down here with counter. So we are going to have to shield this next Hydro Cannon. And then they swap out into Poliwrath. So Poliwrath is not great for this team. He does reasonably well against everything except Cresselia. So he's likely going to be able to take me out with Dynamic Punch, and then I'm not going to... I don't think I'm able to take him out with Muck here. So this Dynamic Punch is going to deal quite a lot of damage. Almost half my health. And then I'm trying to farm up as much extra energy as I can, but you can see I just go for one too many Snarls and I don't get off the Sludge Wave. That's okay. I don't think it would have been enough to KO. So Poliwrath was going to be able to take me out. Plus I had that Swampert in the back that I don't think I would have been able to beat to a charge move with Alolan Muk anyways. So definitely wasn't going to win that game. So first match is a loss. Hoping to do better here. And we catch a Melmetal on the lead, which is much better for us. So we're going to stay in this matchup. They are going to beat us to the charge moves, but we are going to be dealing super effective damage to them. So the Rock Slide is coming in. Does a fair bit of damage because the Escavalier is quite squishy, but we're able to get to the Drill Run here, and this is going to force a shield, or it's going to take them out. So we do get the shield. So now we're going to mirror the shield, toss up our own here, and going to get to another Drill Run before they get to another charge move, expecting them to let this go down, but they actually shield again here, which is pretty good for us. So they're going to come in and drop another charge move. I'm going to mirror the shields again. I'm okay with going 2 shields down if I win switch advantage. And then Giratina's coming in. So I just want to get off the Drill Run here to soften it up a little bit, and then I'm going to come in with my Alolan Muk. Alolan Muk. And so the reason I wanted to soften it up with Drill Run is that now I'll be able to take it out with just one Dark Pulse. So going to do a bunch of extra Snarls, get close to 100 energy, and then going for the Dark Pulse here. This is going to be taking out the Giratina. No need to worry about them shielding since they've already burned all their shields. And then it is a Clefable coming in, so this is good. They've burned their shields. I can get to the Sludge Wave. This is going to deal a ton of damage to Clefable. Not quite going to be taking it out, but is getting it very low. This is perfect farm down for Cresselia. Cresselia is going to be able to farm down with Psycho Cut. Is going to have to take a Meteor Mash here, but Meteor Mash isn't going to do a ton of damage. Only about a quarter of Cresselia's health, and then they switch back into their Melmetal. Moonblast is going to be resisted, but it's already so low that it will be taking it out, and then we're able to take out the Clefable. So definitely a much better matchup there. Catching the Melmetal on the lead was great. I definitely think my opponent would have been better off to swap out, and definitely would have been better off not to burn both shields, I think. So able to take away that matchup. Here we catch an Ampharos on the lead. So this is kind of interesting. I don't know exactly how this goes. Gonna go for the drill run basically as soon as I can, hoping that they let it go through. They do shield though, not too surprising. I'm going to shield as well. I was worried this could be a Focus Blast because they built up quite a lot of energy, but it is a Thunder Punch, so good bait by their part. This is definitely going to be just another Thunder Punch, so I'm not going to shield. And then I am going to toss the Drill Run. They will either have to shield, in which case I'll swap out into Cresselia, or it will go down. So I do swap into Cresselia here, and they're building up quite a bit of extra energy on that Ampharos, and then bringing in Muk, but I almost had a Moonblast ready for this Muk, and that's going to be enough of an energy advantage that I am fairly sure I can flip this matchup. So I'm going to go ahead and shield here. They don't have any shields. So this should be pretty safe for me. And then this Moonblast is going to be getting them quite low. Hoping for the attack debuff. We didn't get the attack debuff, so this Dark Pulse is going to hurt a fair bit. Yes, it does hurt, but we're going to be able to get to another Moonblast here, which will take out the Alolan Muk. Expecting the Ampharos to come back in and toss a charge move. It does. I'm going to swap out right away. Don't want to get farmed down. So swap into a Alolan Muk, and they have a Gyarados in the back. So this is not great for me. Gonna need to get to 2 Dark Pulses, but they will likely be able to get to an Outrage or Hydro Pump before I can, which will be enough to take me out. So we can see I just got to it, but they were able to get to a charge move. This is definitely going to take me out. It is a Hydro Pump. And I'm too low on my other Pokemon to be able to take it out. So, good game. I'm noticing with this team already that I am fairly weak to water types. Swampert, Poliwrath, and Gyarados all give me trouble if I can't line them up against Cresselia. So that might be something I have to watch out for. Here we catch a Registeel on the lead. This is great for us. They swap. I'm blind swapping into Cresselia. The reason I'm doing that swap blind is because Registeel is such a hard wall that I really can't afford to have Cresselia go up against Registeel, whereas Alolan Muk at least has some play. So we do get the attack debuff on this Giratina, which is great for us, and it is a Dragon Breath Giratina, which is even better because it means that we're not taking super effective damage from those Shadow Claws, and it's going to take it longer to get to those Shadow Sneaks. So, going to drop another Moonblast here. They go ahead and shield. This is looking really good for us. I'm going to be able to get to another Moonblast, but they swap out on the charge move. I'm totally fine dropping the Moonblast here because hopefully I'll get the attack debuff, and I do. So that's 2 debuffs. That's great. That 30% chance is quite high. And we're able to come back in with Escavalier and just go for Drill Run. So they do let it come through. That's quite good for us. I'm not going to shield this because they're already debuffed, and it is a Flash Cannon, so that's quite good for me. And now I'm going to be able to counter down. So I've got a fair bit of loaded energy. Giratina comes back in. I'm going to go for the Drill Run. This should be getting them very low, and I can probably counter down. But I'm going to go ahead and shield because I don't know what they have in the back, and it could be that Escavalier is really good, and it's a Mewtwo. So gonna drop the Mega Horn, hoping that this connects. It will deal a lot of damage, and it does connect. That's huge damage. 3/4 of Mewtwo's health gone from one Mega Horn. So that's really, really big. Swapping in Alolan Muk now just to go for Dark Pulses. Gonna shield. It turns out that this is an Earthquake, so that definitely would have done a lot of damage, but my opponent knows there's really no win condition for them there, so they do surrender. So definitely have been having good success when catching the Steel type on the lead. Still need to find a way to win those battles where we're not catching it. So getting into the 5th match here, we'll have to see how it goes. And here we catch a Poliwrath on the lead. So this is okay. It's sort of neutral. I am thinking that I probably lose this because they get to Dynamic Punch so quickly. Yeah, and Dynamic Punch does about 2/3 of my health. That's a lot of my health. We're able to get to the Drill Run, which is going to deal a decent amount of damage, but not enough. So we're going to aim to swap on the charge move into Cresselia. I think this is actually just going to be an Ice Punch. They didn't quite have Dynamic Punch ready, so going to be looking to get ahead on energy here, and they are a little slow bringing in the Alolan Muk. So hopefully we can flip this matchup here. I'm not going to shield, I don't think. It probably would have been smarter for me to shield there rather than shield a little later, because I'm going to use another Moonblast here, which gets them low, and I actually get the debuff. So I definitely should have shielded the first one, but instead I'm shielding the second Dark Pulse. Since I got the debuff, going to get to another Moonblast, and going to force them to throw more energy on me. They do go ahead and shield, and so this is actually perfect because Alolan Muk is now in perfect farm down range for Escavalier to start getting ahead on energy. So we do bring in Escavalier, and he's got a Drill Run ready. We're going to go ahead and drop the Drill Run on whatever's coming in. We're expecting it to be that Poliwrath. It is the Poliwrath coming in, so the Drill Run is going to be either getting the shield or taking them out, and we take them out, which is great for us. So now we can swap into Alolan Muk. When we see that last Pokemon's Mewtwo, it is great for us. I was going to swap either way, but Alolan Muk is definitely a great counter to Armored Mewtwo. So we're able to connect with the Dark Pulse. Gonna shield this. Dynamic Punch, Earthquake, both would hurt a fair bit, so don't want to let it hit me. Getting off another Dark Pulse here, we are going to get the last shield, and then we are going to be able to get to another Dark Pulse quite quickly. This isn't going to take me out, even if it's Dynamic Punch. It is Dynamic Punch, and then my opponent actually surrenders because they see that they can't win that. So good first set of 5, able to win 3 of 5, so fairly happy with that. Definitely still working out all of the matchups with this team, but I think it's going reasonably well. We'll have to pay attention to how I do against Registeels in the back and against water types in general, but so far so good. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.